welcome back to the WODdoc Project 365, episode 1450, big 1450. We were just kind of saying that it's almost 4.5 years, something, 4 years, something like that. Anyway, guys, I'm here with my man Sean. He is the owner of Black Horse CrossFit. Where are we out here? Did you say Adrian, Michigan?
Adrian, Michigan, yeah.
Adrian, Michigan. Someplace between Toledo and Detroit.
In Detroit, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just pick a spot right through there. Out here doing a rock tape course. I keep on making all this noise. Out here doing a rock tape course, and got to touch souls a little bit. We were talking about pain and storytelling. I thought it was really cool. Wanted to bring him on. I always like to share information wherever we can create and gather quality information and share it. That's what we like to do and give it to our fitness community. So, Sean, talk to me.
Yeah, pain and storytelling.
Pain and storytelling. All right.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of work with Mike Bledsoe and a little bit with Mark England. He's famous for his vocabulary concept, but a lot of what we've been working around has been, you know, storytelling and the stories that we tell ourselves. You know, not just the stories we tell everybody else, but what we're constantly telling ourselves.
That internal story.
Internal story.
Right.
And how closely related to pain that is. So,
right.
You know, the story I shared with you was I've had back problems for about 4 years now, and we dug down and kind of figured out the story I was telling myself about what was going on, and through a series of steps that, you know, they were teaching, you know, we laid out what that story was. We identified some of the key words and some of the negative self-talk, and they walked me through this process and kind of slowed everything down, and probably for a good week after that, the pain was almost gone.
Right.
Or significantly less.
So let's break this down a little bit, because part of it is kind of like the I think I can, I think I can, I think I can.
Yeah.
But let's break this down and give a little example. So I'm a person in chronic pain. Every day I wake up, I say, life sucks, my back hurts, I can't do X, Y, and Z. How would I go about writing these things down, right? Mm-hmm. So that I could kind of do a self-evaluation and kind of like, you know, reverse the story, how you're trying to say.
Yeah, so the first step is just be honest with yourself. Write down that inner dialogue that's going on. You know.
So literally that inner dialogue. So I wake up and I say to myself, whatever it is, oh man, today's a shitty day, the sun isn't shining, my back hurts, I can't walk up the stairs, I haven't got a boner in 3 months.
Yep.
And literally you're going to write those
word for
word, those things down. Once I do that, then what do I do after that?
So the next part of the process, once you've got everything written down, and be as extensive as you can be. Don't hold anything back. You know, don't, oh, I think this.
First part's honesty.
Be honest, 100%. Write down everything that's flowing through your head. The more, the better. Once it's all written down, read it out loud. Mm-hmm. You know, read it exactly how you have it written down. Read sentence by sentence. And then third step, you're going to read it again, but you're going to slow it down. I think 70%. So our conversation, we're at 100%. Really slow it down. Sentence by sentence, exactly what you have written down. And then the last step, that's probably the most powerful step in my opinion, is you read it after each sentence. When you hit a period, big breath in, breathe down into the belly, exhale, move on to the next sentence. And you read it at that same 70%. And what most people will notice is that last time reading it with the deep breaths is you probably don't have a lot of the same charged feelings. So if you're honest with yourself, every time you read it, something probably gets triggered. Right. You might get a little anxiety, maybe you actually start to feel that actual pain that you're talking about. And then when you slow it down, you know, most people notice, okay, I feel a little different. And then after the breathing part of it, where you read it 70%, you take a deep breath after each one. By the end of the story, it's at times almost a complete 180 of how you actually see that. And you're like, oh, wow. And you can actually now see on paper what's going on through your head.
Right.
So once, you know, the powerful part about that is like, man, look at all this negative self-talk, and you can actually look at that and be like, man, that's just a story that I'm telling myself. It's not how the day is going. That's not how my life is. That's just the story I'm telling myself. But the body's responding to that.
Exactly. So the body responds to the emotional thought. And I think that's so cool because it's one of the things that we do teach in the Rock Tape Concepts, that pain itself is not solely mechanical. It's not solely nociception, right? But there's actually an emotional component attached to that. So if we can help, you know, work our way through this emotional component, then there's possibility, there's theory behind emotionally detaching the bad component and improving the symptom overall.
Yeah, absolutely. It's you know, having been in the CrossFit field for the last 5 years, and you know, hundreds and hundreds of people that come to the door, the number one thing that I've noticed is when people have pain, they have a story associated with it.
Right.
And how easy it is for that to follow them throughout their time here. And one of the most powerful things that I've been a part of is just having conversations with people. It might not even be 100% to do with the pain, but just the stories of their lives. And as it unfolds and they start to have their own revelations, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm a much happier person now because I got rid of this baggage, or I made the decision to change my diet, do X, Y, and Z, and then as a byproduct, all of a sudden the pain, like, oh man, like my back hasn't bugged me in a week, 2 weeks, a month.
Right.
So there's definitely something there, and the research is definitely starting to come out that, like, hey, you know, it's not just as black as white as we might have thought it might have been at some point, but you know, if that negative self-talk that we're constantly having with ourselves, I mean, some of us are super guilty of it.
Yeah.
Some people are really good about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's really starting to come out like, hey, like maybe I shouldn't be calling myself a piece of shit because I couldn't get that muscle up, or you know, like I suck because you know somebody beat me. Because the more you do that, the more your body's going to respond in that way.
Right.
So
awesome. Sean, thank you so much.
Yeah,
guys, more to come about this. We're going to start exploring this subject a little bit more. We're going to talk to some more people, hopefully get them on as well. I really appreciate you guys coming out. Well, I appreciate you coming out. I thank Black Horse for allowing me to come in here, ramble a little bit, get a good workout in. Guys, questions, comments on this, all the info is attached below. And otherwise, we're here each and every day, optimizing function to optimize performance. My man.